partner with Axon, you immediately gain access to a full range of products and solutions designed to meet the complex needs of today's grower. We carry all major brands and sizes of tires and wheels. We specialize in large diameter wheels for large equipment. We have one of the largest OEM replacement wheel inventories in North America. Known for extreme flotation setups, duals, and triples, we have wheels for all makes and models of tractors, sprayers, combines, and grain carts. If we don't have the wheel in stock, we'll custom build, sandblast, and paint in-house. There isn't a more vast inventory in North America dedicated to helping dealers move more iron. With facilities on the West Coast and in the heart of the Midwest, leverage our 230,000 square feet of indoor inventory to solve any problem a grower may have. Move more iron with Axon.
Moving iron.
Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast number 346. This edition of Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by TractorZoom. TractorZoom has access to over $20 billion in heavy equipment sales data. TractorZoom's Iron Comps is the industry's trusted solution for transparent equipment values and auctionable pricing insights. I've got Andy Campbell back here to give his rundown of what's happening in the marketplace, and this time we're going to take a look at tractors, especially on the 300 plus horsepower row crop tractor and what that looks like there. So, which I think is probably one of the more, it's absolutely the most popular tractor category that's out there right now. I think as you look at what's going on with the tractor marketplace, there's still a fair amount of machines out there that are in demand. But that being said, we're seeing that scarcity premium get more off on them, and we're going to see it continue to do its thing throughout the rest of 23 going into 24. Not a bad thing. The market's not going to collapse, nothing like that. It's just as more machines hit the marketplace, the supply and demand thing takes hold, and we're starting to see prices move, and I think we're seeing that now. Looking forward to see what Andy has to say, so let's jump over there and take a look.
Aaron and Casey, welcome to TractorZoom headquarters, and I've got some February tractor data to talk to you guys about. Now, as we've gotten more data over the years, you can really see this auction average value by month and dealer average value by month in blue really trend well together, but that's over all different types of tractors. So I know we may be more interested in some row crop tractors, so 300 plus horse and 175 plus horse, just with the front wheel drive across all different hour categories. Again, trends really well together. And one thing that I've been seeing, and I'm going to dice into a smaller hour category here in a second, that you're seeing the split between dealer and auction kind of tighten here. Well, I'd say since definitely in this fall period. You're seeing it trend together, ups and the downs by the seasonality in the month, but the gap does seem to be tightening. And if we look just in the 300 plus horsepower, and let's take maybe that 2,000 to 3,000 hour period, you're really seeing this start to happen again. You've got some certain months with low auction sales that just, with this tight of a category, you've got some nuances and some variability, but by and large, you're really starting to see this gap close to the point where it gets to be about maybe a 20% difference here in February. And I know, Casey, this is always something that you focus on, is what is the premium that dealerships are able to charge over auction, and what should that be? My large question to you guys with this tractor market that we're seeing here in 2023 is the room to grow. We've seen this trend up now for 2 years. I'd say the combine market does seem to be softening a little bit, maybe some other categories as well, the compact tractors for sure. But for your larger tractors, larger row crop tractors, is there still upward potential, especially in the dealer market, to move this price higher? So I'm curious to know what you guys think on that one. Now, I've also got some looks here within Iron Comps.
Okay, so I think to answer that question, as I look at the tractor marketplace and things move across, I think there is some room for, I don't know if room for growth in price is the right thing, but I think room for growth in the overall percentage of dealer price, I guess, to take a look at that. MSRP, or however you want to look at that. I think 21, 22, 23 have proven that less tractors have been built than any other time as far as a percentage goes. I think if you look and see what's out there, I don't want to say less machines were built, because that's not the right term, because they got delivered, but it's just when they got delivered. Some of those might have got 21 tractors might have got delivered in 22. Some 22 tractors maybe getting delivered in 23. So it's when they got delivered and how they got delivered, and what that looks like. I think as you look at those machines and the number of machines that are falling into the 21 timeframe, 22, 23 timeframe, the gaps that we're going to see in our increments is going to ultimately show up. And it's ultimately going to prop up some of those prices as a percentage of MSRP, as you take a look at how those play out throughout the course of history here. But I think some of that too, though, some of this defining factor here is the value statement that I see on the machines now is going to be greatly influenced by how autonomous tractors come into play over the next 3 to 5 years, as you start looking at how those things are going to play out. And I think that's going to have a bigger impact on machine pricing than what we see now. I think it's going to be totally based around what machine can be upgraded to what is going to be how it's going to be the limiting factor in what machine values are worth ultimately, as you look at the long-term value of machinery now.
I'm going to switch over. So now pulling over into Iron Comp's market trends, we can get a different look at kind of the same data. Tractors 300 plus horsepower. One of the early things that I look at are the price changes by the different makes, models, and really we're seeing this hold steady month over month. With a lot of other categories, combines especially, we're seeing that seasonal price decrease as dealers try to move the equipment off the lot. And then one of the other pieces that caught my eye was the supply that's listed. And in the dark blue, we have the supply that we were listing last year in March of 2022. And you may best describe it as ragged, not a smooth supply curve where late models are higher and it smooths lower, but is jagged. 500 hours here, 1,000 hours higher and then lower. But now, are we seeing a return to normal supply where we get what we might expect with 500 and less hours here, 1,000, and so on? Kind of developing that normal washout curve that you might be used to. So is this what you think we're going to be living with here for the foreseeable future? Or is there still supply chain disruptions and some change that we're going to be witnessing? So anyways, Aaron, Casey, appreciate it. If anybody has any questions on Iron Comps or TractorZoom listings, be sure to reach out to us at TractorZoom.com or IronComps.com, and we'll be glad to have a conversation with you. Take care. Talk to you guys later.
Okay, so I think to answer that question, as you look at what he was talking about there, are we going to see some more of that ragged nature that we see there that he was talking about? I think so. I mean, I think it kind of goes back to my previous statement about 21, 22, 23 model tractors and how those things are going to fit in, what machines are going to come in, and how those washouts are going to continue to move through. I could easily see where on the front side of that graph where you saw some big differentiation in hours, that moving throughout that cycle and kind of settling in between that. I would say between that 1,250 to 2,500 hour range, as you're looking at those machines, and those are very popular machine hours when it comes to on the used side. I think you're going to continue to see some drastic moves there when you're looking at how those things play out. So I think the tractor market, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be the healthiest of all markets. It always is. It's nothing different there. But I think as you look at that, the possibility to have a machine be propped up more long-term and retain some value more long-term is easiest on a row crop tractor than it is anywhere else in the marketplace. So I want to thank Andy Campbell over there at TractorZoom and all the guys at TractorZoom for sending this information over to me and getting it out there. So good place to stop there. So I want to thank those guys for what they're doing here, and I appreciate that. So I'm Casey Seymour with Moving Iron Podcast. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Moving Iron LLC. Go to LinkedIn at Moving Iron Podcast and check me out. Check the video version of this out over on the YouTube channel, which is Moving Iron Podcast. Check it out there. Go to Moving Iron LLC MovingIronPodcast.com for everything Moving Iron related, and check out the Moving Iron Summit coming up here in Nashville, Tennessee, September 11th through the 13th. Click on the tab in the upper right-hand corner, and you can fill out all the information there to sign up. And you can also get all the information about the meeting as well. If you need more information, send me an email at MovingIronPodcast@MovingIronPodcast.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So with that, I'm Casey Seymour with Andy Campbell. Let's go some iron, folks. Out.
Moving iron in the 21st century.